Hello, friends. If you are using multitasking as an effective tool for your high performance, then this video is for you.
It's time brigade. Time brigade. It's time brigade. Join the time brigade.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, the fact is quite different. When you try to do two things at the same time, you can't or won't do either as well as you would have done if you handle them one by one. In the last video, I spoke about the common belief that people have that multitasking leads to productivity. I've been looking forward to your agreements, disagreements, comments in the comments below so that we can get a good feedback of how you feel about it. I'm doing this in a series of 3 videos and I will sum them up in a blog post on my website next Sunday. So watch out for that. Now, if you are doing several things at once, then you may be what researchers call a heavy multitasker. You may think that you're fairly good at this balancing act, but research shows that that is not so true. You're probably not as effective as you think you are. Research has also demonstrated that switching from one to the other takes a serious toll on your productivity. Multitaskers have more trouble tuning out distraction than people who focus on one task at a time. Also, doing so many things at once can also actually impair your cognitive ability. Here is something interesting. In order to determine the impact of multitasking, some psychologists got together and had some participant groups to switch tasks and measured how much time was lost by switching. In one of the studies conducted by Robert Rogers and Stephen Monsell, participants were slower when they had to switch tasks than they did when they were repeatedly doing the same task or focusing on one task. Another study by Joshua Jeffrey and Mayer found that participants lost significant amount of time as they switched between multiple tasks and lost even more time as the tasks became increasingly complex. In the brain, multitasking is managed by executive functions. These control and manage cognitive processes and determine how, when, and what order certain tasks are performed. According to Mayer, Evans, and Rubinstein, there are 2 stages to the executive control process. The first one is called goal shifting. What it means is deciding to do one thing against the other, which means, do I do this or that? The second one is called role activation. In this, we refer to the rules or the parameters of this activity versus that activity. That means shifting your brain to think about what are the governing rules of this activity or as this task as against the other task. Now, moving through these may only add a few microseconds, but it can't, it is not having a serious effect. It's not a big deal. You can do it. But what it happens is it starts to add up when people switch back and forth repeatedly. Now, this may not be a great problem if you're cooking and listening to a podcast at the same time. However, if you are in a situation where safety or productivity is important, such as when you're driving in heavy traffic, then even small amount of distraction or time lost can be critical to life. We just don't have the capacity to process a lot of information at once. That's a fact. This is the way our brain is wired. This is a particular problem when you try to multitask. We can switch attention from one task to another, but when attention is overloaded, we miss things and we perform less well. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's understand one thing very clearly. Multitasking makes us at the best inefficient and at the worst drastically dangerous. So stay tuned in, and in the next video, I'm going to be talking about the 9 clear effects of multitasking on your productivity. Stay tuned in. Signing off, your Time Brigadier, and you are watching the Time Brigade.